Are you worried about your job, your savings, the future of your finances? You're not alone. Across the United States, millions of Americans are quietly asking the same question. Is the economy heading toward a recession? The stock market feels unstable. Layoffs dominate headlines. Interest rates are the highest in years. Groceries cost more. Housing feels out of reach. Something feels off. And when uncertainty spreads, anxiety follows. Tonight on Global Decode, we're not reacting to fear. We're decoding it. Because this may not be just another recession cycle. It may be a turning point in global power. Why this moment feels different. The United States is still the world's largest economy. The dollar dominates global trade. American markets anchor global capital. Economic strength equals geopolitical leverage. But the last few years were not normal. First, the pandemic, the most synchronized global shutdown in modern history. Trillions of dollars injected into the economy. Interest rates cut to near zero. Stimulus checks. Corporate rescue packages. The collapse was prevented. But consequences followed. As the world reopened, demand surged. Supply chain strained. Inflation exploded. The Federal Reserve responded aggressively, raising rates at the fastest pace in decades. At the same time, war in Ukraine disrupted energy. China tensions intensified. Supply chains began shifting. Trade restrictions increased. Strategic rivalry deepened. This is not just economics. This is economics operating inside geopolitical competition. And that's why this moment feels different. What's triggering the anxiety? Historically, when short-term interest rates exceed long-term rates, recession follows. It has predicted nearly every U.S. recession in 50 years. And it inverted again. Markets are forward-looking. They're not emotional. They're probabilistic. And probability right now looks uncertain. Corporate layoffs. Major companies in tech, finance, and retail have cut jobs. Yes, overall unemployment is still relatively low, but perception matters. When visible industries cut jobs, confidence declines. Recessions don't start with panic. They start with caution, and caution is spreading. Consumer stress. The U.S. economy runs on consumer spending, but credit card debt is at record highs. Delinquencies are rising. Pandemic savings are depleted. Mortgage rates, elevated. Auto loans, expensive. Rent and food, still heavy. When households rely on debt to maintain lifestyle, vulnerability increases. If your cost of living rises while job security feels uncertain, would you take financial risks? Exactly. This isn't just data. Recession fears are not only about numbers. They're about structural transition. The Federal Reserve faces a dangerous balancing act. Control inflation, maintain employment, preserve financial stability. Raise rates too much, you trigger contraction. Raise too little, inflation erodes purchasing power. But here's the geopolitical layer. When U.S. rates rise, capital flows into the dollar. Emerging markets struggle. Global borrowing costs increase. The dollar strengthens. U.S. monetary policy reshapes global power. If the American economy weakens significantly, it affects defense budgets, foreign aid, technological dominance, strategic leverage, economic strength funds global influence. That's why recession fears matter far beyond Wall Street. But here's the question no one is asking. What if the economy isn't collapsing? What if it's transforming? What if this is the end of ultra-cheap money, hyper-globalized growth, and the beginning of a fragmented, competitive global order? That possibility changes everything. Global impact. When the U.S. economy moves, the world moves. China faces property instability and demographic pressure. Europe struggles with energy costs and slow growth. If America slows, global demand falls. Emerging markets face currency pressure. Dollar-denominated debt becomes expensive. Capital retreats to U.S. assets. Energy markets shift. Technology investment reorganizes. Even during slowdown, governments increase spending in AI, semiconductors, defense tech, private caution, public strategic acceleration. This creates a dual-speed economy. And ordinary Americans feel the emotional cost first, because fear spreads faster than recession. And sometimes, fear triggers the downturn. 3 future scenarios. Scenario 1, the soft landing. Inflation cools. The Fed pauses. Growth slows but remains positive. Markets stabilize. Painful but manageable. Scenario 2, mild recession. Spending weakens. Unemployment rises. GDP contracts. But financial systems remain intact. Recovery begins within a year or two. Historically common. Scenario 3, structural shift. No dramatic collapse, but permanent change. Globalization fragments. Supply chains regionalize. Economic warfare increases. Volatility becomes normal. This isn't just recession. It's recalibration of global order. So what's the solution? First, understand the difference between fear and fundamentals. Second, recognize that cycles are normal, but structural shifts require adaptation. Third, focus on resilience. Build emergency savings. Avoid overleveraging. Invest in skills aligned with strategic industries. Think long-term, not headline to headline, because uncertainty does not equal collapse. It signals transition, and those who understand transitions early position themselves wisely. Is a recession possible? Yes, but the deeper story is this. The United States is navigating inflation control, high interest rates, and geopolitical competition simultaneously. That convergence creates tension, but tension also creates transformation. The real question isn't, will there be a recession? It's, how will America adapt to a world where economics and geopolitics are permanently intertwined? On Global Decode, we don't chase panic. We decode power. If you value deep strategic analysis over surface headlines, subscribe and join this community of analytical thinkers. Because the next phase of global strategy is already unfolding, and understanding it may be the most important investment you ever make.
Expecting a recession this year.
There is a period of transition.
Is the world's largest economy on the brink of a recession? Well, experts fear the answer is yes. And even more telling, Donald Trump himself isn't ruling it out. When asked by reporters, he called it a period of transition.
Are you expecting a recession this year?
I hate to predict things like that. There is a period of transition.
A subtle nod to the possibility of an economic